Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly review and breakdown to the series Only Murders in the Building, this time on season 4, episode 9, Escape from Planet Klongo. So we're going to get straight into it. Before we do, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our content. Comment down below with your theories and suspicions, and I think it's nice that we're getting to do this together. It's been
Yeah.
ages since episode 1, so
Yeah. Missed you, by the way.
missed you too last week. Right, we're just gonna get straight into it. So let me just say, wow, they really showed a lot in this episode. It felt like a bit of an overload, which makes sense as some of the previous episodes have been like really slow and not a lot has been revealed, though a lot has been revealed, but a lot of irrelevant stuff. But yeah, wow. Anyway, so in this episode, we find out that Glenn, R.I.P. Glenn, poor Glenn,
Yeah.
actually replaced Saz's protege on set and actually wasn't Saz's protege. We later see Charles, Oliver, and Ron together in a Chinese restaurant, and the duo find out that Saz's protege was none other than Rex Bailey, who looks identical to Marshall. Rex or Marshall, one of them, both of them, same person, seems like.
Yeah.
Stole Ron's shoes, which are the exact same shoes the killer wore. And we also know from a previous episode that his eyesight is really good. He does These glasses are fake. There's literally no
Mm.
lenses in them. So he'd have a really good aim with a sniper. In the meantime, Marshall and Mabel are together in Dudenoff's apartment, and we see Mabel going into the fridge to grab a beer, but she finds something wedged between the drinks, a stack of papers, which she pulls out and sees it's the script and it has Saz's name on it, which makes sense now as to why she had called Bev and left the voicemail and why she knew about the movie before the trio. It was because she wrote it.
Mm.
But it does seem weird that Bev didn't know about that, unless if Marshall stole it from Saz and took credit for it, and Saz was calling Bev to tell her it was her script, and there are plot holes. So I'm sure we're going to get a bit more of a reveal next week on that. But I definitely do think Marshall stole it from Saz. And it also makes sense why Saz was trying to get to the bottom of the plot holes because she was doing research and writing the script. I still don't really get her involvement with the Westies, really. Like, I don't really see the connection in a sense, but I'm sure we'll find out about that soon. So, yeah, two really important things were revealed in this episode. Rex and/or Marshall is the killer, and Saz wrote the script. Personally, like I did think Marshall was the prime suspect. Like throughout the episodes, they were really giving us that angle. Like they were really making it obvious. But I thought, because it was too obvious and like it just didn't seem like they would go down that route, but they did. I thought, they'd go with someone a little less obvious, perhaps like the actors, but I guess not. So we know who killed Saz. It was Marshall. Why? Because Saz ended his career by blackballing him. And the second shooter was aiming for Glenn as he replaced Marshall on set, and so there's a motive for killing both of them. Now, from a few episodes back, Marshall said there are two people involved, one to shoot and one to move the body. Now, was Marshall trying to throw them off, or is he right? I could see it as like a red herring, but I kind of get the feeling someone else is involved. So there are two different names. I think Rex Bailey is his real name, but when Saz ended his career, he changed names. Otherwise, people would find out about his past and he wouldn't be that reputable. Now, I've got a really wild theory, and I'm like 99% sure it isn't true. But what if there are two of them, Marshall and Rex, and they're twins? That would help with the theory of having two people involved in Saz's murder. But then the surnames, maybe it's a cover. But I don't know. It's a very wild theory. But yeah. Anyway, if we go with that idea that there aren't twins, then perhaps someone else still from the movie production is involved in the death of Saz. I still have this gut feeling that it's still one of the actors. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know which one, but I just get a really good feeling. It could even be Bev. But I don't
Mm.
think there's really too much that we can take from the previous episodes, at least personally for me. So I'm not really sure. Like, why would the actors get involved with this? I mean, maybe to make sure the film gets made because of the plot holes, so maybe that's why. Or Bev, maybe for the same reason as well. But the actors would have been hired most likely after. So I'm not sure, but I think it's definitely enough motive for all of them, and especially
Mm.
for Bev as well, because we know she really wants this film made. But gosh, Mabel. Hopefully she'll be okay, as she straight up just confronted Marshall, and he saw the text from Oliver and Charles, so hopefully she'll be okay. We're, however, still left wondering who's watching the group. Last week, I discussed some suspects, including Lester, Cinder, Detective Williams, Uma, Howard, the Demetres. I think that was everybody. Maybe there was a few more. I don't know. But check out last week's review. Cinder and Detective Williams are lefties, which is something the actors pointed out because of the smudge that it would have to be a left-handed person, even though going back to season one, episode three, there is no smudge on that note.
Mm.
So, but it seems like perhaps it's just a retcon, maybe. Not really sure, but
Mm.
yeah, for Cinder and Detective Williams, like they're lefties, so they fit the profile, but I'm struggling to see like a deep enough motive yet. I feel like Cinder didn't even know in season one, episode three, that the trio were going to do a podcast, and which is when Oliver got his note, I think, from memory. And why would she even leave a note for Jan? Like, it doesn't really make sense. And for
Mm.
Detective Williams, it really does. It just seems so
Yeah.
right, you know. But anyway, I think this is going to lead on to season five for sure. But yeah, I don't think this part of the mystery will get wrapped up. I think season four will just end it at what happened to Saz, and that'll be it. But yeah, it was a good episode. I feel like it's progressed quite a bit more in this episode. Of course it has, because it's like the last one before episode 10, the
Mm.
finale. But yeah, it was really good. I'm still a bit disappointed that it was a bit too obvious who the suspect was. Like I just kept thinking, it's they're not gonna do that. They'll make it like the least, some, just someone that hasn't, that wouldn't be that obvious. But I guess they have. But I still do think there is someone else involved, and I
Mm.
think we'll find that out next week.
Yeah, I agree. I did thought it was Marshall, but then when he was kind of like in the spotlight for episode 5, I was like, nah. Like if they show like his side of the story, then that means he's probably not the killer. But now he's probably mostly definitely the killer, well, one of the killers. Then it has to be him. So I got a feeling he might not be the shooter, but maybe the one who's gonna take the corpse down, maybe. I don't know. For me, I can see he's got motive to kill Sans, definitely. And if he just killed Glenn, oh, rest in peace, man. Because he killed him in the hospital, I mean, I can see there's so much hatred and passion, but I just feel like I don't see it as like someone who's that determined to kill someone straight away. You know what I mean? I feel like I think you're right. I feel like there's someone else who's I don't know, who's a bit more twisted in doing this. You know what I mean? Because like planning to shoot Saz and then Glenn and like getting rid of the body, like Saz's body, that takes a lot of work, a lot of planning, and I feel like I'm not sure I can see Marshall doing that, if that makes sense, but yeah. I got a feeling it's Bev. I don't know why. I feel like it's usually the quiet ones that reveal to be the killer, but I got a feeling what if it's someone who might be the opposite and we never expect them because we're always looking for someone in the background. But yeah, I like this episode. I love seeing more sides in her story because I feel like again we didn't really know much of her story in the last few seasons, but this season definitely we get to know so much about what she's done, her work, it's brilliant. And I never knew she wrote the script and oh my God, it just felt so I don't know, I felt kind of relief. Like I felt like that was the thing she wanted to tell Charles, Oliver, and Mabel. Like she wrote a script based on them, and I think that was a sensitive thing she wanted to explain. And I thought, oh my God, that would be such a good, wonderful gift. Like, cause she knows them straight in the story personally, and it would have been great. So, uh, I'm really still disappointed they killed her off. It's just so heartbreaking. Um, One thing in there I didn't know why they focus it on. Do you remember after Mabel learns that Glenn is dead, there was something on the TV that on the news? What was I can't remember exactly what they said, but was that about what was that about?
It was about a
Sorry.
dry cleaners and something about a mob or something. I'm not really sure. I thought that was just something in the background, but it seems perhaps it could have a link. I'm not sure. Maybe it's setting up for season five. I don't really know. I think so. It seems like
Okay.
what's happened is the dry cleaning king of Brooklyn has gone missing, and he has ties to this crime family. I don't
I'm
know
not
what
sure
how
if
that would link.
I'm trying to think. Do we know anyone from dry cleaning? Or do we know
Because
anyone from
maybe
a
like Oliver and Charles uses dry cleaning. Because I mean, like I don't think they have washing machine in their apartment. Seems very random. So
maybe?
maybe, but I just don't see how that has a link to like Saz's death or anything. But it's definitely has some sort of importance. Otherwise, why would they show that?
Yeah. Maybe it could be one of their neighbors. Maybe it could be Jan's family. Yeah.
Caputo seems like I think that's how you say it. It's an Italian. I think it's an Italian surname. So it's an Italian crime family. Does that help? The Source family. Are they
Wait, is that from the
Italians?
Westies? The
Yeah,
Westies? No, I don't think
yeah.
they're Italian. I think they're Argentinian.
Oh yeah, right.
But you know what I was thinking? For some reason, I was thinking back to that DNA test in season two where Oliver's son Will found out he's Greek and not Irish. I don't know why, but I feel like maybe Teddy could be part Greek and Italian, maybe? I hope we get to see Teddy and Theo back in the show. I like Theo. He became a kind of
Yeah.
nicer character. Not nicer, but like a better character in season two and three.
Yeah, what I heard was that in every episode seven of the show, he's always appeared, and then only in season four he didn't appear. So
Hmm.
it's quite sad.
Yeah.
It was quite a nice continuation if they had.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
you
I was
jumped
just
in.
gonna
Sorry.
just jump in for what you were saying before about writing the script. It kind of makes sense then maybe why she broke up with Jan because it's a bit of a weird one because she's basically
Oh,
writing about Jan.
yes.
So maybe
Yeah.
that is why they broke up. So maybe Jan has
Mm.
found out about the script, you know, because we
Mm.
know she's
Yeah.
back in New York. So I
Yeah.
don't know, could she be involved?
Speaking of Jan, I was just wondering where is she now? Because last I heard, she was in the someone spotted her in the main city. So I don't know. I she's definitely going to be in the finale. I don't know why or how, but she's definitely going to come back eventually. I don't think she would be involved. Well, maybe actually, because she said she really liked Charles in the beginning, then she tried to kill him. She said she loved Saz, but she could have killed her. So there's no telling what goes through that woman's mind.
There isn't, but to be honest, she did seem genuinely really worried about her. But
Mm,
I don't know.
yeah,
It's Jan. She's
yeah.
unpredictable.
I said this in the last few reviews, Emily, but who do you think could die next in the next episode, in the
Oh,
finale?
I think they're really trying to set it up to be I was gonna say Lester. No, didn't mean Lester. I meant the other one, Loretta. I was gonna say like
Yeah,
it kind of felt like it could be Howard or Loretta, but now with the wedding happening, like it really does seem like it could be Loretta.
yeah, I
Uh,
think so too.
yeah.
I mean, I don't want her to go. I really like her now. It's- But they're gonna kill off someone we really like now. It's so annoying. Can't believe we're on the last episode now. I mean, last episode next week. Jeez.
Yeah, it's gone by
Oh.
really quick. I mean, I know I would miss most of it because I had to binge watch it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's gone by very quick. And it doesn't have that same sort of feeling as the other ones, which I guess is a good thing as well. Like, I mean, in terms of the other seasons, like it's
Mm,
had like a really different like layout. Like, I feel
yeah.
like they've really missed out on the aspect of the podcast. Like, I haven't seen them recording the podcast or anything that much.
Yeah.
It's been
Film
very minor.
base. Yeah.
Yeah, it has. I guess
I
they've been
mean,
preoccupied, but
yeah. I mean, for me, it was quite interesting seeing like different aspects of the film production with the stunt doubles, the actors, the behind the scene filmmakers. But you're right. I can't remember the last time they actually were speaking live. They were recording for the podcast. I think that was only in episode one when there was when the power went out. God, you're right. Never realized that. Hmm. What would you say was your favorite moment from this episode?
I think the heart to heart, like with both of them, like with the menus,
Yeah.
the heart to heart. It was so sweet, but it was also just extremely funny.
Yeah.
Like it just goes to show, like they both find it so difficult to like put it in words. Oliver may be a bit more easier to put it in words, but
Hmm.
they both have grown really close, and they're both like they've kind of got that kind of friendship
Yeah.
that
And yeah, I know they used to be like, I know they used to annoy each other a lot over the years, but I love that they actually focus a bit on their relationship again because I mean, we do get to see the trio like doing their own thing, cliches like friendship wise, and like doing their own investigation. But I do like how the relationship grown, and I feel like I think they realize that they're becoming a bit more like brothers in a way. Like they annoy each other, but they have deep respect for each other, and I really appreciate that. Appreciate that moment. Yeah.
yeah, the theme of loneliness has been like really key for this season. Like with Dudenoff, with Vince, with Charles,
Mm,
like with even Doreen in a sense, his
mm.
sister, like the theme of loneliness is even Oliver, like even
Oh God,
Oliver,
yeah.
like when
Mm.
Loretta was
Oh
away,
God,
like
yeah.
so theme of loneliness has been like really key for this season. So next week's episode of Only Murders in the Building, season 4, episode 10, is titled My Best Friend's Wedding. The final answers to our season are revealed, but not before the trio faces mortal danger and an Arconia wedding. So we know the wedding is going to be Oliver and Loretta's, which I really hope happens. But like I said before, I have this feeling that Loretta
Yeah.
will be the next victim.
Oh no.
When they say the final answers to our season, it kind of suggests that it will just answer the mystery of Saz's death. But who poisoned Winnie, who wrote the note, those kind of stuff, those plot
Mm,
holes, etc., will be answered in the next season, in season 5. And
mm,
it seems like the killer, Marshall, Rex, someone else, will be targeting the trio. I don't think this will be the killer that is linked to those plot holes from season 1. And then about the title, we've seen like a running theme with the titles for the season of each of these episodes, like being movies.
yeah.
And this one is based on a rom-com starring Julia Roberts. I haven't watched it, but from what I know about it, Julia's character finds out her friend is going to be married and she realizes she loves him. And so she tries to sabotage his upcoming nuptials. So if we take this into what we've been seeing so far, I have a feeling that Doreen will be trying to sabotage Oliver and Loretta's wedding so that she
Mm.
maybe ends up with Oliver, though it did kind of seem like her husband and her were sort of on good terms again at the end of episode 7.
Mm,
But I don't know, maybe it literally just means my best friend, like Charles' best friend, Oliver's wedding. Maybe
mm.
it's just a bit more like that. But I don't know whether it'll have a link to the actual rom-com or not. But yeah, I have no ideas of how the episode's name links to the story. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But we will know what has happened to Saz and yeah, and who is it? Is it just Marshall? Is it Rex? Is it someone else? Is it one of the actors?
Mm.
Really hope it is one of the actors. That would put a whole twist in it. That would be amazing.
Do you think it would be the all three or be like just one of them?
I think it might be Eugene Levy.
You think?
I don't know. Yeah. But then Eva has like, with her gun last week, like that
Oh
thing that she
yeah.
had. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
She seems to I don't know.
She seems to have a good skill at using guns. But then Zach, I mean, he's been doing a lot of like crazy stuff with like his films, like The Hangover or other stuff I can't remember now, but yeah. So maybe.
I don't know, but would it be Zach? I mean, unless if he deliberately asked his partner, Marshall, to shoot him, because you remember that shooting, the second shooting, where Zach got hurt and Glenn got hurt.
But
It
was it
seems,
Marshall that did the shooting? That's the question.
well, I definitely do think it was Saz's killer that
But what if he
did
was
that.
aiming at Glenn, but because Glenn had that metal thing in his head, and Zach
Hmm.
didn't know, and it hit the head, and it shot Zach, and he didn't know about it. So maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's just not enough to go off from that.
Someone said it was could be Howard because of with all the mistreatment and everything, but I mean, I'm not sure. Like, could you see Howard like coming back at the trio? I mean, I can't. I mean, he would have done that ages ago, but mm,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Howard's a weird character, but he's definitely been there for the group, especially for Oliver. Like him standing up to Sad. I love that. Like
oh
he's
yeah.
so nice, and him willing to just sit in that apartment for Mabel, and they just take
Mm,
advantage of him, which was absolutely horrible. So I can see his motive, but whether he'd do it, I don't know, because I don't know. Like I feel like he's definitely not involved in Saz's murder. Like
mm,
I just don't see why. But the overall big mystery, I could see
mm.
it. But I just don't know what his motive would have been for like initially.
So, guys, that's the end of our review today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment down below on your thoughts and theories. We would love to hear them, guys. Who do you think could be the second killer, or like accomplishments of Marshall? Like if you have anything, we'd love to hear them. Before you leave, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You can check out our latest reviews of Only Murders in the Building. You can also check out our reviews, reactions to some of the things we've done in the past, like The Orville, we've done Wyona Up, Lucifer, and some Marvel, Disney, games, pranks. So many, guys. Check them out. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. If you do, we'll follow you back. And you can also check out our website, tells you information about the team and some of the videos we've done in the past. So yeah, we will see you next time, guys, for the finale. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.